The humans just declared war. Council Chair. Zilax's primary manipulator froze halfway to the emergency alert panel. In 43 cycles of leading the Galactic Council, those 5 words had never been spoken, could never be spoken. Humanity hadn't engaged in military conflict for 3,000 standard years, longer than most current member species had possessed faster-than-light travel. "Repeat that," Zilax said, his translator struggling to convey the appropriate tone of disbelief. Council member Vexia's holographic form flickered with agitation. "Confirmed from multiple sources, Chair. Human vessels are mobilizing across 17 sectors. They've recalled every diplomatic envoy. Ambassador Brown delivered a formal declaration 20 minutes ago." She paused, her species equivalent of a tremor running through her projection. "They're already moving." "That's impossible." Kaltas, military advisor to the Council, accessed his tactical displays with sharp, precise movements. "Humans don't have a military. They decommissioned their last warship 3 millennia ago. It's in their museum on Earth for the Founders' sake. I took my offspring to see it on a cultural exchange." "Then explain this." Vexia transmitted the data streams across the chamber. The holographic display erupted with red indicators. Hundreds of them. Thousands. Human vessels changing course, accelerating, converging, not on trade routes, not toward Council space, toward Krell territory. "No!" Zilax felt his respiratory system constrict. "No, no, no! What did the Krell do?" Silence. The kind of silence that precedes civilizational collapse. Vexia finally answered, her voice barely above a whisper. 41 hours ago, Krell forces conducted orbital bombardment of the human colony on Epsilon Tertius. Standard suppression tactics during their expansion operation. There was collateral damage. Define collateral damage. Zilax already knew he didn't want the answer. An orphanage, 47 children, ages 3 to 15 standard years. The chamber's environmental systems seemed to fail. Zilax couldn't breathe, couldn't process. His neural pathways tried to reconcile the information and simply couldn't. "Get me the Krell Emperor. Now. And someone find out where Ambassador Brown." "I'm here, Council Chair." Zilax spun toward the human voice. Charlotte Brown stood in the chamber's entrance, her small biped frame somehow dominating the massive space. She wore formal diplomatic attire, pristine and pressed. Her face held no expression whatsoever. "Ambassador Brown, please tell me this is an error, some terrible miscommunication." "No miscommunication." Charlotte walked to the speaker's platform with measured steps. "The Krell Empire attacked a civilian colony. They killed 47 children. We are going to war." "Charlotte, Ambassador, you can't. Your people haven't fought in 3,000 years. You don't even have a military infrastructure. We're going to war," Charlotte repeated, her tone flat, final. "We're informing the Council as a courtesy. We are not asking for permission or approval." Kael'thas manipulated his displays frantically. "Ambassador, I'm seeing human cargo vessels, mining ships, colony transports. These aren't military craft. You can't fight the Krell Empire with civilian ships. Their military will. We're going to war." Charlotte met Zilax's gaze. In 37 years of knowing this human, of sharing meals and philosophical discussions, of considering her a friend, he'd never seen that look in her eyes. The Krell attacked an orphanage. They killed children who had already lost their parents, children we promised to protect. "Charlotte, please." 47 names, Zilax. I know all 47 names. Their birthdays, their favorite foods, what they wanted to be when they grew up. Her voice cracked microscopically on the last word. "The Krell will learn those names too." The holographic displays pulsed with increasing urgency. More human vessels, moving faster than any civilian craft should move. "Ambassador," Vexia said carefully, "the Krell Empire spans 200 systems. They have the 3rd largest military in the galaxy. If your people engage them with mining equipment and cargo haulers, then I suggest, Charlotte interrupted, turning toward the exit. The Council prepare for significant changes in your territorial maps. We'll send updates as the situation develops. She left, just walked out of the chamber like she'd announced a trade agreement instead of the first human war in 3 millennia. Zilax stared at the space where she'd stood, then at the tactical displays showing human vessels accelerating toward Krell space. They don't understand, Kael'thas whispered. The Krell don't understand what they've done. Zilax accessed his emergency channels. Get me every military advisor we have, every xenopsychology expert, and someone find out what humans actually built during 3,000 years of peace. The displays showed the first human ship entering Krell territory. Because, Zilax added quietly, I don't think we know what humans really are. 72 hours earlier, Commander Dirax reviewed the bombardment report with satisfaction. Target, Epsilon Tertius, human colony world, population approximately 4,000. Defenses negligible, resources adequate farming land for Krell expansion. Bombardment complete, Commander, his tactical officer reported. Minimal resistance, 3 surface-to-orbit installations destroyed. Civilian infrastructure eliminated per standard protocol. Casualties? Krell forces, none. Enemy combatants, 12. Civilian casualties. Drax waved a dismissive claw. Irrelevant. Acceptable losses in the course of Empire expansion. The humans will file a protest with the Galactic Council. We'll pay a minor fine, and the territory will be ours. He marked the report as complete. The primates haven't fought anyone in 3,000 years. They won't start now. Sir, one of the structures destroyed was listed as a children's care facility. Then they shouldn't have built it in contested territory. Dirax closed the file. Move to the next target system. We have 17 more human colonies in this sector. Present day, Krell High Command. Border Station designation. Outpost Prime. High Command, this is Outpost Prime. We have unidentified vessels approaching, requesting identification protocols. Fleet Admiral R. Hill studied the sensor data with growing confusion. 12 ships, large vessels, broadcasting human registry codes, but the configurations were all wrong. Those are cargo haulers, his analyst said. Mining transports. That one's a colony seed ship. Hasn't been used in 50 years according to our database. Why are civilian ships approaching a military installation? Unknown, Admiral. They're not responding to hails. Rahil felt the first whisper of unease. Reports had been flooding in all morning. Human vessels appearing at border stations, at resource extraction facilities, at patrol checkpoints, hundreds of them, none military, all moving with singular purpose toward Krell space. Deploy a warning squadron, standard intercept procedures, if they don't respond. Admiral, Outpost Prime just went silent. The tactical display updated. Where Outpost Prime had been, a station housing 3,000 Krell personnel, there was now just debris. What happened? Did the humans fire weapons? No weapons discharge detected, sir. Scanning the debris now. The analyst's scales paled. Admiral, the station wasn't destroyed. It was dismantled. Structural integrity compromised at key support junctures. Power couplings severed with precision-cutting tools. It's like someone took it apart piece by piece. That's impossible. That would take weeks with military equipment. Outpost Prime was operational 4 minutes ago, sir. Another display flashed red, then another. Border stations going dark across 3 sectors. Get me visual confirmation. Deploy reconnaissance drones. The holographic display resolved into a scene that Rahil's brain refused to process. A human cargo vessel, massive, ungainly, designed for hauling grain and manufactured goods, had attached itself to Krell Border Station Nexus 7. But attached was the wrong word. It was consuming it. Industrial cutting arrays, the kind used for asteroid mining, carved through reinforced military hull plating like it wasn't there. Magnetic grapples designed to manipulate multi-ton cargo containers peeled away entire sections of the station and stored them in the ship's cargo bays. Are they salvaging our stations? Move to intercept. All ships, weapons free. 3 Krell destroyers accelerated toward the human vessel. It was still harvesting the station, completely ignoring the approaching warships. This is Krell Battle Group 7 to unidentified human vessel. Cease your actions immediately or we will open fire. For the first time, the human ship responded. The voice was female, calm, almost bored. This is Captain Emma Johnson of the freighter Persistent Dawn. You have 5 minutes to evacuate your personnel from the station before I continue operations. You will cease immediately. We have you targeted with plasma batteries capable of 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Rahil watched Battle Group 7 close to firing range. Destroy that ship. Now. The lead destroyer fired. Full power. The kind of blast that could crack a small moon. The human cargo ship's shields flared blue. Just shields. Defensive fields that shouldn't exist on a civilian vessel. The plasma burst dissipated harmlessly. That's not possible, R. Hill whispered. Emma Johnson's voice came through again, still conversational. 3 minutes. I'd recommend you hurry. My mining lasers will resume in exactly 180 seconds whether your people are clear or not. Fire everything! All 3 destroyers opened up. Plasma batteries, missile arrays, kinetic impactors. Enough firepower to level a city. The cargo ship sat there. Its shields flickered occasionally. The human continued dismantling the station like nothing was happening. Admiral, his tactical officer's voice shook. Her shields aren't even strained. Our weapons are doing nothing. Literally nothing. Deploy the fleet. I want every available warship. Admiral, we're receiving similar reports from 47 locations across the border. Human civilian ships are systematically taking apart our infrastructure. Nothing stops them. Nothing even slows them down. Rahel stared at the display, at the cargo freighter that was casually surviving weapons that could destroy military dreadnoughts, at the human who spoke like she was filing a maintenance report instead of facing a battle fleet. Get me the Emperor. Now. On the screen, Emma Johnson's ship finished harvesting border station Nexus 7. The wreckage drifted harmlessly away. Her vessel turned, aligning toward the next Krell installation. Next target acquired, her voice announced to no one in particular. Proceeding with operations. 3 Krell destroyers emptied their entire arsenal into her shields. Emma Johnson didn't even acknowledge them. Phase 3, system breakdown. Emperor Korvax stared at the tactical display showing 17 human vessels systematically dismantling his empire's border defenses. 17 civilian vessels against 4 entire battle fleets. His fleets were losing. Explain this to me again, Korvax said, his voice dangerously quiet. Slowly, Fleet Admiral R. Hill's scales had lost all color. The human ships, they're not military vessels, Your Majesty. They're cargo haulers, mining ships, colony transports, but their defensive capabilities exceed our most advanced warships. Their hulls are impervious to our weapons. Their shields regenerate faster than we can damage them. Then use more ships. We did, Your Majesty. Battle Fleet Prime, our largest fleet, engaged a single human mining vessel in the crater sector. 43 warships, full assault for 20 minutes. Rahil's voice cracked. The human ship didn't even maneuver defensively. It just continued mining operations on our supply depot while we fired everything we had. And? 0 damage, Your Majesty. The human captain filed a formal complaint about us cluttering her workspace with debris. Korvax felt his world tilting. How is this possible? We believe, Rahil pulled up a communication intercept. This is from the cargo freighter Persistent Dawn. Captain Emma Johnson responding to our tactical inquiry. A human voice filled the chamber. Female, matter of fact. You seem confused, so I'll explain. We stopped building war machines 3,000 years ago. We built everything else instead. Mining equipment that can crack apart asteroids. Cargo ships that can cross the galaxy in weeks, colony vessels that can terraform planets, shields strong enough to protect against solar radiation, cosmic debris, and apparently your plasma cannons. A pause. You built weapons. We built tools. Turns out our tools are better than your weapons. Silence in the throne room. Your Majesty, Arhill continued quietly, their civilian cargo hauler has engines that outpace our military interceptors. Their mining ships cutting lasers slice through our reinforced hull plating like it's decorative foil. They've had 3,000 years to perfect technology for every purpose except war. And now they're using it for war, Korvax finished. Another display activated. Council Chair Zilax's hologram appeared, looking like he'd aged a decade in a day. Emperor Korvax, the Galactic Council begs, that you order an immediate ceasefire and withdraw from all human territory. The Council begs? Korvax laughed bitterly. I'm the one being invaded by cargo ships. You attacked an orphanage. You killed their children. Acceptable casualties in... There are no acceptable casualties when it comes to human children. Zilax's composure cracked completely. Do you understand what you've done? Humans chose peace. For 3 millennia they chose peace while building a civilization that makes our greatest achievements look primitive. They had the capability to dominate the galaxy and chose not to. And you attack their orphans. We will not surrender to civilian ships. Then you'll die to civilian ships. Zilax transmitted new data. Human vessels are appearing in 73 systems. 73? Your military can't stop them because they're not fighting a war. They're cleaning up a mess. You're the mess. Another hologram flickered to life. Human Ambassador Charlotte Brown. Her face was still expressionless, but her eyes... Ambassador Brown, Korvax tried to inject authority into his voice. The Galactic Council has protocols. We tried peace, Emperor. For 3,000 years, we tried peace. We built schools instead of battleships, hospitals instead of weapons platforms. We created art, explored science, raised our children in a galaxy we thought was safe. Her voice remained level, but something in it made Korvax's blood freeze. We were wrong. The Council will impose sanctions. The Council can watch. Charlotte transmitted something. A file. 47 names, Emperor. Every child in that orphanage had a name. Emma Rodriguez, age 4. Loved drawing pictures of stars. Michael Chen, age 7, wanted to be a xenobiologist. Patricia Williams, age 12. Was learning to play violin, she continued. Every name, every age, every dream. Stop, Korvax whispered. Sarah Martinez, age 5. Her parents died in a shuttle accident. She was just starting to smile again. Thomas Garcia, age 9. Stop. Collected rocks from every planet he visited. Jennifer Anderson, age 6. Afraid of the dark. So the older children took turns staying with her until she fell asleep. Charlotte's voice didn't waver. Every child, every name, every story that ended because you considered them acceptable casualties. Zilax spoke into the silence. You're not facing the human military, Emperor. You're facing human grief, and there's nothing in this galaxy more dangerous than that. On the tactical display, another Krell station winked out. Emma Johnson's calm voice came through the comm channel. Target neutralized, proceeding to next objective. How do we stop them? Korvax asked. Charlotte Brown looked at him with eyes that had memorized 47 names. You don't, Emperor. You never could. The only question is how much of your empire you want left when we're finished. The connection terminated. Korvax stared at his tactical display, at the civilian ships carving through his military like it wasn't there, at an empire that had just learned the difference between peace and weakness. Get me the human ambassador, he said finally. Prepare surrender terms. Fight them! Emperor Korvax slammed his fist against the command console. Deploy every ship, use everything we have. General Zorinix didn't flinch. He'd served 3 emperors and survived 2 coups. Nothing rattled him. Until today. Your Majesty, we have deployed everything. 173 battle groups across our territory, full mobilization. And they're everywhere, Your Majesty, simultaneously. Human ships in our core worlds, in our shipyards, in systems we thought were secret. They're not fighting us, they're just present, dismantling what they choose, ignoring our weapons. We can't stop them, we can't slow them, we can't even track them all. Our stealth ships, found and disabled within minutes. Your Majesty, they're using commercial sensor arrays designed to track cargo across light years. Our military stealth technology is irrelevant. Zorinix pulled up another report. 3 of our dreadnoughts attempted to flee to deep space. Human mining vessels intercepted them before they reached jump distance. Mining vessels, Your Majesty, with engines that make our fastest ships look stationary. Korvax felt his empire crumbling. The Council is watching us die, Your Majesty. He opened a channel to Galactic Council headquarters. Zilax appeared, looking exhausted. Council Chair, I formally request intervention under... No. Zilax's voice was flat. You attack their children, Emperor. You have no idea what you've done. They're destroying my empire with cargo ships. They could have destroyed your empire in an hour if they wanted to. Zilax leaned forward. Do you know what humans have been building for 3,000 years while the rest of us perfected weapons? They built ships that can traverse galaxies, power sources that could run civilizations for centuries, medical technology that makes death almost optional, construction tools that can reshape planets. They've been building paradise, Emperor, and you made them remember they could build hell instead. The display flashed, a human vessel entering orbit around the Krell homeworld. The Persistent Dawn, Emma Johnson's cargo freighter. She's here, Zorinix whispered, at the throne world. Korvax's entire defensive fleet moved to intercept. Planetary shields activated, every weapon system locked on target. Emma Johnson didn't fire, didn't maneuver, didn't even charge weapons she probably didn't have. She transmitted a file. 47 photographs appeared on every screen across the Krell homeworld. 47 children, smiling, playing, learning, living. Emma Rodriguez, age 4, brown eyes, gap-toothed smile, loved drawing stars with crayons. Michael Chen, age 7, serious expression, held a collection jar full of interesting rocks. Patricia Williams, age 12, shy grin, violin tucked under her arm. Every child, every face, every dream that had ended in fire and debris. Then Emma Johnson's voice, transmitted across every Krell communication channel. Not angry, not vengeful, just tired. War is easy, Emperor. Any species can kill. We did it for thousands of years before we stopped. Peace took 3,000 years of work, of choosing dialogue over destruction, of building instead of breaking, of protecting the vulnerable instead of exploiting them. A pause. You destroyed it in one afternoon. The images cycled, 47 faces, 47 futures erased. We came to your worlds not because we want conquest. We came because you need to understand. These children had names, had dreams, had people who loved them. Emma's voice carried the weight of 3,000 years of peace abandoned. You will learn every name, every face, every story, and you will remember why humans chose peace in the first place. Korvax stared at the faces, at Sarah Martinez, age 5, hugging a stuffed toy, at Thomas Garcia, age 9, proudly displaying his rock collection. Prepare unconditional surrender, he said quietly. Your Majesty, now. 4 hours later, the surrender was complete. Reparations agreed to. Territory returned. Treaty signed. The human fleet withdrew. All of it, simultaneously, as if choreographed. Cargo ships returning to cargo routes. mining vessels returning to asteroid belts, colony ships returning to their slow journeys between stars, Galactic Council chambers, emergency session. Charlotte Brown stood at the speaker's platform, composed, professional. "The orphanage will be rebuilt," she said simply. "The Krell Empire will pay reparations to the families affected. They will establish protocols to prevent civilian casualties in future operations." She paused. "And the galaxy will remember." "Ambassador," Zilax said carefully, "what happens now?" Charlotte looked at him with something like sadness. "Now we go home. We bury our children. We try to remember why we chose peace." She turned toward the exit. "And we hope we never have to make this choice again." She left the chamber. Zilax looked at the other council members, at representatives from 200 species who just watched humanity break 3,000 years of peace in less than a week. "The war is over," he announced, but everyone in that chamber knew the galaxy had changed forever. 3 weeks later, Galactic Council chambers. "The motion passes unanimously," Zilax announced. "Human colonies are hereby designated as protected territories under the highest council protocols. Any military action within 10 light-years of human space requires pre-approval from this body." No one objected. No one even questioned it. Zilax looked across the chamber at representatives from 200 species. 3 weeks ago, half of them would have laughed at giving humans special status. Now they sat silent, remembering cargo ships that shrugged off military weapons, mining vessels that moved faster than interceptors, a war that lasted 6 days and dismantled an empire. "We spent 3,000 years believing human peace meant human weakness," Zilax said quietly. "We were wrong. They didn't abandon violence because they couldn't fight. They abandoned it because they didn't need to." He pulled up data streams. "While we perfected weapons, they perfected everything else. Their civilian technology is 3 millennia more advanced than our best military hardware. They could have ended any war in the galaxy within hours." "But they didn't," Vexia added softly. "No, they chose peace. Every day for 3,000 years, they chose peace." Zilax closed the displays. "The Krell made them choose differently. Once. I pray to the founders, no one makes them choose that way again." Cargo freighter, Persistent Dawn, standard route between Proxima Station and Tau Ceti colony. Emma Johnson reviewed the shipping manifest while her co-pilot, Marcus, triple-checked their course vectors. Just another routine cargo run. Agricultural equipment. To Tau Ceti. Medical supplies back to Proxima. "Captain," Marcus said, "I've been meaning to ask about the thing with the Krell." "The war." Emma didn't look up from her datapad. "Was it really a war? Lasted less than a week?" "Wasn't really a war," Emma said, signing off on the manifest. "Wars last longer than a week. That was more like aggressive negotiation with power tools." Marcus laughed, then sobered. "Are you worried it'll happen again? That someone else might?" "Let's hope nobody else is stupid enough to test us again." Emma allowed herself a slight smile. "We spent 3,000 years proving we didn't want to fight. I'd prefer not to spend another week proving we can." She keyed in their next jump coordinates. Back to hauling grain and machine parts. Back to the peaceful, boring work of keeping civilization running, exactly how she liked it. Epsilon Tertius. Orphanage dedication ceremony. Charlotte Brown stood at the edge of the crowd, watching children play in the new courtyard. 47 new children. Different faces, different names, but children nonetheless. Laughing, running, safe. The building behind them was state-of-the-art. Krell Reparations had funded every detail, reinforced structure, advanced life support, shields that could withstand orbital bombardment, because the galaxy had learned, finally learned. "Peace isn't weakness," Charlotte murmured to herself. "It's a choice we make every day." Her communicator chimed. Council transmission about the new galactic treaty. Formal apologies, security guarantees. She'd read it later. Right now, she watched a 6-year-old girl, Emma, named after one of the children lost, chase a ball across the grass. Behind the ceremony, cargo haulers landed with building supplies for expansion, Emma Johnson's ship among them. Charlotte watched the cargo captain ignore the political speeches, instead directing her crew to unload materials with practiced efficiency. Emma's voice carried across the field. "Careful with those support beams, and someone remind me why we're doing construction work during a dedication ceremony?" Her first officer replied something inaudible. Yeah, 3,000 years of peace, one really stupid empire. At least the kids have a new home. Emma moved to help with a particularly heavy crate. "Let's get this done before the politicians finish talking." Charlotte smiled slightly. That was humanity in a nutshell. Give a speech about galactic change or help build something useful. They'd always choose building. A child's laughter rang out across the courtyard, the sound that had started and ended a war in the same breath. The galaxy had changed. Human cargo ships still ran their routes. Mining vessels still extracted resources. Colony ships still carried settlers to distant worlds. But now everyone knew. Humanity's peace was a gift they gave to the galaxy. A choice they made every single day. Not a limitation. Not weakness. A gift. And gifts, the galaxy had learned, could be revoked. No one intended to test that lesson again.